What's good, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Welcome to another broadcast. We're going to go right in tonight. We're going to skip the theatrics. We're talking about Kenneka Jenkins. As you enter the broadcast, I want you to hit the like button. The tragic case of Kenneka Williams, a young lady, Kenneka Jenkins, pardon me, a young lady who died approximately 9 years ago. And she died in a Crown Plaza hotel. There's been a lot of missing evidence, a lot of missing links. There's been a lot of different stories told, a lot of speculation in the air. And as of late, November 22nd, 2025, Kenneka's mother, Teresa Martin, made some rather alarming posts on Facebook. And of course, we have those posts. And not only do I want to react to what she said, but I want to start to piece things together. This whole case is being treated like a blood sacrifice. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want everybody to like, share, get the material out there, because you know how we do it when we get into our investigative journalist work. But before we dive right in, I want to greet you all, the good people. I see Mr. Brooks in the building, Monique Hopkins. I see Tania, she's present. Lucky, I see you. Random is in the building. Chip Marks is in the house. Samia is in the building. Kim C is in the building. All right. Blessings to y'all. Blessings to y'all. So Kenneka Jenkins' mother, Teresa Martin, recently took to Facebook. And what she had to say is absolutely astonishing. And this is very much recent, November 22nd, 2025. And what she said is alarming, after receiving $3.7 million in settlement. Kenneka Jenkins' mother, Teresa Martin, is speaking about her daughter's death. Now, I want to get into this, and what we're going to discover is there's a lot that's being hidden from the general public, and there's a lot of corruption going on here. All right. Now, I want to read this particular message that she posted, and we're going to do some deep diving here. It reads, "To whom this may concern, I still don't know what happened to my child's life. Clothes, shoes, cell phone, hair, and the list goes on. However, I have been promised lies, as if once this case is over, I was forced to never talk about my child again. As you can see, over the years, I wasn't near as vocal as I am today. So after this post, I might be back in court, but I will be getting sued because I was tricked. I was tricked by they, a lot of typos, will get me answers. Give me her clothes and her cell phone and anything belongs to her when she died that was on her body. That was a lie. Once they finished investigation, allegedly people I trusted, they told me that somehow Kay got out the back door. I never heard how which door could get out, but they never told me how or where." The English language is kicking her ass. Pardon me, but let's continue. Allegedly, they never told the media. That's why I know the media will lie, allegedly. So I can invite any of you to go. I was in pain going through my cancer battles. They forced us, had us in rooms for hours, and would not let us go until we said what they wanted us to say. They made us accept what they wanted to give us. I'm literally living without my child, and I'm rising above, staying strong and holding on to hope, even without you. P.S. I was made to do a recorded video hours after we were held during one of my child's birthdays at the same time. I was sitting in a meeting about another child who wasn't even living. I had nothing to give my baby that day, but I knew a surprise was waiting once we left that meeting. Fingers crossed. Before the rain came hard, I stayed quiet long enough, but at this point, I simply speaking my truth respectfully, clearly, and without naming anyone. Now let's make America great. Ugh. Ugh. This is bad. This is real bad. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. This is nasty work. She took the money. She took the oath of silence, and I did my research on whether or not there was any official NDAs. Oh, trust and believe, ladies and gentlemen, I did a deep dive. I did all the necessary research to actually pull up the actual files from that time period. I'm talking about I had to go in deep because I'm like, was there really an NDA where she couldn't speak? First and foremost, the family death lawsuit, wrongful death lawsuit filed 2018. It was filed in Cook County, Illinois. It was settled in 2023 for $10 million. Initially, the legal filing showed that the family, through their attorneys, asked that the terms of the settlement, including amounts and other details, be kept sealed from public view. So the family, through their attorneys, didn't even want the settlement information out there from public view. According to the public record reporting, a judge denied that the first motion to seal the settlement. So the judge denied that. Because of the denial, some details, like roughly how much various claimants received, eventually became public, and it was about $3.7 million. So let me get this right. After all these years, after having $3.7 million, 9 years later, all of a sudden she wants justice. Now, word on the streets is Kenneka's mother is she's running out of money. She's running out of money from what they're saying that she was living lavish, expensive trips, expensive homes, expensive clothing. And now that the well is running dry, now she's pulling a public sympathy card. See, based on available public records, there was no evidence, court filings, judge orders, or credible media that an NDA was signed that legally binds the mother to silence. It doesn't exist. All you got to do is do your research. Go through the Cook County. It doesn't show up. It literally tells you no record shows up. I'm here to tell you right now, this woman's lying. She's lying. She is lying. And she took a lump sum of money from the hotel. And I personally believe that this could have been a blood sacrifice. And she's just trying to find a way to get more money from the public, probably by crowdfunding, getting sympathy from the people and get some type of crowdfunding done. That's what it seems like is happening, because there's no record of her having to sign an NDA or have any silence. Now, these hotels have a lot of trafficking going on. There's a lot of organ harvesting that goes on. The fact that she was left in a Kenneka Jenkins was left in the freezer for 48 hours plus is a red flag. I personally believe it was an organ trafficking case, 100%. But I also believe that her mother knew, and those around her knew. And I'm only basing this on how her mother is moving. Now, I'm going to show you where her mother, what she has been doing lately, and how none of this actually adds up. And I don't go out here falsely accusing anybody, man. I do my research. I look into things, and before I go out here and say what my thoughts are on the situation, right? Now, was Kenneka Jenkins' death treated like a blood sacrifice? That's the question. Was she paid off to remain silent? Now, as of late, this is what's been going on here. This is what's been going on. Her mom has been very vocal, and she's been speaking out within the last week or so.
Kenneka's family, friends, and activists marched here to the FBI to demand a federal investigation into her death. Kenneka Jenkins' family and friends gathered this afternoon in Douglas Park wearing purple, her favorite color. After a group prayer and balloon release, they marched to FBI headquarters with this message.
We're here today just as a beginning to send a message to Rosemont that this will be a major uprising from across this city, across this county.
Now, mind you, at the end of Kenneka's post, she said, "Make America Great Again." More than likely, Kenneka took the oath. She repped MAGA. Now she wants to march down to the FBI headquarters. I want y'all to consider everything that you're seeing right now. Let's go.
Across this state.
The gathering comes a day after Rosemont police released 8 snippets of raw surveillance video from last Friday showing the 19-year-old walking and at times staggering through the halls of the Crown Plaza Hotel. The video did not show Jenkins walk into the freezer, but did show her in a kitchen alone and then walk out of frame. The group here says they suspect a cover-up.
We want a second look. We're here at the FBI building to ask for a second look to make sure that these tapes weren't altered, to demand that they give us the full tapes, not pieces, not their altered pieces.
I'm trying to save a young child for being like my child.
Kenneka's mother made a desperate plea to federal investigators.
I'm just looking for help. That's all I've been asking for since day one. Help, because it didn't make no sense. It never made sense from day one.
Now the group is promising more protests at the FBI and in Rosemont for the next 30 days if law enforcement does not release what they call the unaltered tapes.
We're going to hit you where it hurts, in the pocket.
That TV was right about Kenneka Jenkins' case. Because what the hell is the mom talking about? I was so spooked watching him solve the case. I used to think the people was watching through my phone. So when some weird come out years later, everything kind of started to add up. Like, I don't know, man. That's just what I thought.
A lot of people told me fall back from this case, finish with rapping, you know. But now you saying people watching me, they watching everybody. Everybody is.
You got Snapchat and you have your Twitter account.
Right.
The person, Joel Coleman, COMM, he's the owner.
Now, her mother is acting as if she's really concerned all these years later. Now, I just want to show you what her mom's post on a normal, regular basis, which lead me to believe that the money has ran out, the well has run dry. Only Lord knows what she did with the $3.7 million she was rewarded for her silence. You know, because I'm going to tell you this right now, there should be no dollar amount that make you remain silent. There should be no dollar amount that make you remain silent. Now, I just want to show you some of the things that her mother posts on social media. I mean, literally just be crashing out. Teresa Martin, all the filth that she posts on a regular basis that ain't getting no traction. I'm gonna just skim through this stuff, right? I'm gonna just skim through some of this stuff. Let me give you a visual of what she likes to post. Look at what she's talking about. Y'all can read y'all screen. Yeah, Zach TV was killed trying to figure out what took place with Kenneka Jenkins. And her mother, Kenneka's mother, remained silent. Now all of a sudden, she's so concerned. And Zach TV was the guy you seen prior on your screen, the guy that was on the phone. Now all of a sudden, she has a battery in her back to come out and try to figure out what happened. But like, look at the post this woman makes, just to add to some of the credibility. Okay, just look at this for a second. Now all of a sudden, she's mourning all over again in 2025, right? All of a sudden, it's just shady.
And going
Just
and
look.
going. Him, her, them. I'm not talking to you anymore. Me. Thank you so much. You know, this is the stuff she do. This is
the childish filth that she posts on a regular basis on her social media platform.
stuff.
And this don't seem like a woman with $3.7 million who got any businesses going. This don't seem like a woman. Somebody said, read it. I mean, I'm not trying to read some of the filth. She's talking about her throat game, her head game, what she do with her mouth and all kind of stuff. What are you talking about? What, you can't read? Respectfully. Some of y'all may just be watching, so I'm not going to get too intense. Some of y'all may just be listening, rather. But these are the things that she's posting on a regular basis. This don't seem like a person that got something going for themselves. Is Kenneka Jenkins' mother responsible for sacrificing her daughter? Did she know what was going to happen? Or because, look, she's talking about no hands. She says, if you tired of Botox, she dares someone to eat an eggplant twice a day. This is what this grown woman is posting. This is what she's doing in her free time. Someone who got $3.7 million 9 years ago for her daughter's untimely death. And we are to believe that all of a sudden, she just had a come to Christ moment and her conscience got to her. And now she wants justice. No, you took the hush money. And this is what happens. This is what happens in these blood sacrifices. Somebody gets paid. And typically, it's the person that stands the most to gain in these situations who are responsible. Now, with that being said, now that you can get some context to why I say it just doesn't sit right with me, right? Just based on what she posts. Look at just all the filth. Look at it. We can go on and on with this. I got half an hour worth of just lunacy. See, you can give, look, you can give one of these Tatianas some money, but you can't take this type of behavior out of them. And that's why, Kenneka was there where she was at in the first place. Lack of parenting. Because the mother was not raising her daughter. Kenneka was staggering off, drunk into that hallway with no adult supervision whatsoever. Her mother probably didn't even know where her daughter was at. And now all of a sudden we ought to believe that this woman really wants justice. No. Is this a blood sacrifice, y'all? Let's get into it.
But I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/hookah_anonymous. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at hookah_anonymous and follow us there. Now, without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, it looks like Kenneka Jenkins' mother had said the quiet part out loud and literally just confirmed everything we all pretty much knew already and been saying this whole time. And as we always say, the only thing that separates the truth from a conspiracy theory is time. Now, with Kenneka Jenkins' story, we all know that foul play was done, and throughout the years, there's been many theories about what actually happened to her the night she lost her life in the Crown Plaza Hotel. You've had people accuse the hotel of allegedly having involvement, you had people saying that her friends was down with it, and then you even had those that just think Kenneka was just drunk and made a mistake that led to her losing her life. But we all know that that can't be the case due to the nature in which everything happened, where we would later find out that Kenneka not only had dirt and marks all over her body when she was found, but the camera footage just don't add up to the story that the news given us about what actually happened.
Now, I'm going to make this very clear. I wholeheartedly believe that there was a cover-up that took place. I believe that this is a case of organ harvesting. I believe a lot of these high-profile luxury hotels are involved in a lot. And, you know, I done deep dives on all of this before, but I'm just going to reinforce the fact that, brothers and sisters, you got to be careful in a lot of these hotels. You really do. You know, never get yourself on a ground floor. Always try to get a second floor. Always check your room thoroughly. You check for cameras. You check for holes in walls. You know, you check for 6 secret compartments in closets that can lead to tunnels, because this stuff exists. This stuff exists. But now, after these new developments, and her mother comes out saying that somebody forced her to be quiet, is it a possibility somebody shook her down? Perhaps. But at the end of the day, you get to make a choice. She claimed she was threatened. She claimed that she was battling with cancer and sickness. And, you know, they said basically she's making it seem like somebody held a gun to her head and said, you're going to either take this money or we're going to end your life. Now, can stuff like that happen with these high, powerful people who own these hotels? And yes, it can happen. But I'm basing everything on her behavior. I'm basing everything on her behavior, how she acted over the course of these years. And it seems like to me that she wasn't concerned about getting the truth out when she first got that money. She was quiet. And then she made it clear that she ain't say no names. Meaning, look, you know, I ain't say no names, you know, I'm treading lightly. No. Who forced you to do what? Say names. If you really want justice, you're going to have to be the one that bring the justice. If you want justice, you're going to have to be the one who call the names out. She's not calling no names out because she's not trying to expose anybody. She's trying to gain sympathy from the public, perhaps do some more crowdfunding, and get her some more money. Make no mistake about it. That's what this is about. This is sad. Let's go.
Then, to make matters even more weird, the late Chicago videographer Zach TV decided he wanted to go down a rabbit hole, and unfortunately he would end up losing his life after letting the world know that it was foul play involved in Kenneka Jenkins' case. If you remember, he received multiple calls from different people telling him that he needs to stop trying to crack that case and mind his business because it's deeper than what he thinks and people are watching it. Then on the other hand, he will also tell us that he was receiving death threats due to him doing his own investigation within that case.
None of it.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So you basically saying this is deeper than what we know, and we should all fall back.
Step back.
Step back. Don't talk about it no more.
Don't do it.
Okay. I don't know. At first I thought this was some bullshit. Like, who the fuck is calling my phone? This is my business phone too, and I'm like, who calling? And then you saying a lot of shit that kind of, like, you know what I'm saying, is kind of shaking me up. Like, step back. Somebody else, a lot of people told me fall back from this case.
Now, look, I'm going to tell you like this. This man lost his life. So is there some powers operating behind the scenes? More than likely, yeah. But why all of a sudden, after Teresa Martin, Kenneka's mother, then took the money, now she want to bring this up? She's better off staying silent. Unless she's going to call out the names of the people who are doing these murders, alleged murders, unless she's going to call it out, she's better off being silent. And she wants to march down to the FBI and get some answers. Let's see what comes out of that. This case has a lot going on. Anna Serb says, they say that the person in the hall was the other girl acting as if it was her because she was allegedly already unalived. Right. Yeah, this is a lot to consider here, man. This case took a lot of strange turns. Yep, Anna Serb says the Most High knows everything. The truth will come to the light. Absolutely. Let's go.
It's finished with rappers and shit, you know. But now you saying people watching me. They watching everybody. Everybody is.
See, you got Snapchat and you have your Twitter account.
Right.
The person, Joel Coleman, COMM, he's the owner.
Now that person that Zach TV is on the phone with, does anybody in watching this video, does anybody know who he's on the phone with? Is that Teresa Martin that he's on the phone with? I would like to know that information. Who is he on the phone with? Because if that is her on the phone, that would actually be that would be a plus for her in this case, meaning that she really was threatened in some way. Yeah, Buddy did get killed behind this. I need more than one person to confirm that that's her. Somebody said the mother allegedly. Sounds like her. It sounds like her. It could be her. And if that's Teresa Martin warning him, then that could be a real threat. There could be some forced silence in a sense because she don't want to lose her life. But at the same time, her behavior doesn't help, man. And her timing. See, once you take the bag, I'm saying once you take the money, man, and see, I think that the world powers know that, you know, whoever's pulling the strings and doing things behind the scene, they know. Once you take that money, people are not going to take you serious after that. It don't matter what you say. You can say you want justice, but you didn't spent $3.7 million. Somebody said that call was another woman. I wish that was clear who he was on the phone with. I don't believe it's her, but it could be. But anyway, let's continue.
He's the owner of this social media site?
Yes. Yes.
So is that the guy that's in it, that's, hold up, in the video it's the coroner and it's the young guy and he put something in his jacket. Who is that guy?
The coroner is related to the hotel manager.
What?
With an award, he's getting an award from one of the companies that harvest bodies.
That harvest bodies. Boom. Organ harvesting. Wow, wow, wow. Whoever's on the phone says that the coroner is related to the hotel owner. And y'all wondering if these hotels don't be responsible for organ harvesting, trafficking. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, you know, listen, they do threaten people. They do threaten people. Look. They'll tell you, if you say anything, off with your whole family. We'll take out your whole bloodline. These people will wipe out your whole bloodline.
In Chicago.
Wow. Hey, can I ask you, what's your name again, ma'am?
Tanya.
Tanya. I'm gonna say this.
That's not her mother's name. Okay, I'm glad that was clarified. I'm glad that was clarified because her mother was silent. You know what I'm saying? We going through a whole merit of emotions here, man, because this is all breaking. This is all very much new. No, that her mother is not named Tanya. All right. So her mother has been quiet the whole time. Anyway.
I received literally probably like 7 to 8 other anonymous phone calls with people threatening me and saying, leave this case alone, you. This have nothing to do with you. You're putting your nose in other people's business. And now and everybody's been calling private except one number. It was a number that I couldn't call back. You know, it was like a 15 digit number telling me shut up, never to release the footage that I have, never to talk about it. So I don't even post about it. But now you know what I'm saying, you're shaking me up. I think that everybody just giving me warnings to just drop it, you know?
Yes.
Wow.
For your safety, I would say yes. Step back, baby.
Okay.
Step back.
Okay. That she had to move and couldn't stand her. Just think about it. If she in the hallway after her friend went back in the hotel room to look for some shit, and the people tell you gotta clear the hallway. Y'all too loud. Y'all throwing a party. Y'all got weed coming out. You gotta get out the hallway. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna leave the hallway. Hit the elevator. You know the elevator's right there on the left side of 926. You understand what I'm saying? Or if she would have asked, either you gotta get out the hallway or let me show you where the washroom was at. It's logical thinking. Kenneka, let me show you where he ain't gonna say her name because he don't know her. Ma'am, come and follow me. I'm gonna show you where the washroom at. So, or they took her to the washroom. Either way it go, it shows Kenneka was encountered by an employee. Then you got to think about this. Only an employee knows every area of the hotel. And only security is allowed to walk in unrestricted.
And it's so creepy what he said in his video because he mentioned that an employee is the only person who would actually know every detail of this hotel and how to access the footage and the security cameras in the hotel. And did y'all remember that video I posted on here on my page of this man in the hallway wearing the suit and he was ducking in the corner and coming out every couple minutes? That was an employee of the hotel. I believe he was.
Yeah, listen, it was definitely an inside job. Definitely an inside job. Let me see. Somebody says she was probably scared. We dealing with some wicked people. I agree. But what bothers me about the situation is the fact that she took the $3.7 million, and she's saying that they forced her to be quiet. Now, of course, there's no paperwork. There's no NDAs. You would think that in an instance like that, they would force her to sign something. You would think that they pay her off and force her to sign something. If they had her in a room for hours, like, look, if you speak on this, you dead. You would think that they will put it in place with the lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? Do you see where I'm getting at here? It's like she got $3.7 million. She's did absolutely nothing with it. Nothing notable with it. And then now all these years later, she wants answers. Now it could be that she just said, you know what, I'm tired of being silenced and intimidated, and just came out and wants to bring it out. It could be that. But she took the money. That's the part. For me, it's like,
Was a manager. I'm not sure 100% who he was, what his name was, but I do know that he was on the same hallway that Kenneka was on when she went missing. I highly believe the footage in the hotel was edited by an employee or somebody that worked there, maybe previously, a manager, somebody in the upper level of that hotel that did not want to be something to be revealed.
So the fact that Zach told the world that he has videos and other proof backing up his theory that Kenneka Jenkins was in fact purposely unalived, rather than it just being an accident that everyone thinks, Zach's death itself didn't make sense, and many people ran with the narrative that it was all gang related. But others believe otherwise and state that it was due to him covering her case, and he has a large following. Now, aside from Zach TV, it's been others that tried solving Kenneka's case, but I don't think anybody got as far as Zach. There was another woman by the name of Sherry Schreiner who also claimed to have a lot of details backing up her theory that Kenneka was in fact unalived purposely instead of the story that they gave us, and shortly after, Sherry also passed away. So seeing people pass away trying to crack this case, knowing that they was kind of close, that would make others who even thought about trying to crack the case fall back, because let's be real, nobody wants to lose their life. Now, before we even get into what the mom had to say, if you've been living under a rock and don't know,
hey, could the mom have been intimidated and just really didn't want to go out like that? But all of a sudden now she got the heart. It's very possible. It's very possible. Let me ask you all, what would y'all have done in this situation? I mean, you lost a loved one. There's definitely some foul play with the hotel. What do? There's no NDAs. There's no record of any NDAs. There's no records that she had to remain silent. I already looked it all up. Could have just been good old-fashioned mob-style threats. I mean, somebody did lose their life. Somebody said, I'm hiring the best lawyers. Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a predicament to be in when you know some very powerful people are operating. Very difficult position to be in.
Who we're talking about and what's the whole situation with Kenneka Jenkins, let me briefly fill you in. In 2017, Kenneka Jenkins was found deceased inside of a walk-in freezer at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Chicago. Her death was ruled an accident due to hypothermia resulting from intake of alcohol and a mixture of prescription drugs. Kenneka was at the hotel to attend a party with her friends when, according to reports, she wandered off by leaving the hotel hotel room by herself while she was intoxicated and mistakenly walked all the way to the basement of the hotel into the walk-in freezer. Some say that she was great at the party at some point due to her being found while her clothes seemed to be altered, but once again, we will never quite know what actually happened because all we can do is just assume. The only thing that always stuck out to me was the fact that the hotel had security. You mean to tell me that a young, intoxicated female was able to walk all the way to the basement, through the kitchen, and into the freezer without being detected by security? If anything, it sounds like security wasn't doing their job and something should have been done about that. However, it never was. The only people that received any blame for anything that went down was the friends, which I feel they also was a bit suspect and knows more than what they was telling, but we know how that goes.
Yeah, you know, in a situation like that, a bunch of young folks partying, you know, people not snitching. They just gonna be quiet about everything. You know, they just don't want to be implicated themselves. Let me see. Rando says, I'm not saying I would have, but 3.7 would have been on every last friend's head that was there. Oh man. That's an interesting take right there. Yeah, I mean, people get threatened now. I mean, when would be the right timing? When would be the right timing? And then we have to go back to Kenneka mom's message. Her message, once we look at all of this and then read her message one more time that she posted on Facebook, I believe we can clearly see what this is. All right. Let's go.
Now, fast forward to today, Kenneka Jenkins' mother has spoken out via Facebook, and she was shocked social media after admitting that she was silenced. And honestly, I would say she was more so bribed than silenced. But the problem now is the fact that she basically also told the world that she took money rather than justice for her daughter.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Is she silenced or she bribed? You know? Did they force her? Because that's why I was saying at the earlier. If they forced her, why not force her to sign the NDA? If you got somebody locked in the room and you like, look, you're not going to say nothing, they're going to force that person to sign that paperwork. And they're going to be like, look, you're going to take this money and you're going to shut up. You ain't going to say nothing. You're going to go live your life. You're going to be happily ever after. We don't want to hear nothing from you. You're going to sign this paperwork. And you're going to take this money. The lawyers would be in on it. Hotel management, hotel police, local law enforcement, everybody would be in on it. Like, yo, she took the money. That's that. Or did they just straight up, or did she just take the bribery? Like, look, your daughter, she wandered off into the wrong space of the hotel. And, what can we say? It's some foul play. Your daughter's organs was harvested, but you're going to take this money to be quiet. You're going to take, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to settle for $10 million. That's going to pay all your lawyers. It's going to pay all your legal fees. And you're going to get almost $4 million to yourself. She took the money. She took it. Look, these hotels can hold a lot of stuff. We didn't know nothing about P. Diddy mud stomping the hell out of Cassie until like last year. He did that years ago. The hotel had the footage of Diddy stomping Cassie out years ago, y'all. The hotels have a lot more power than you think. She took it. Let me see. Someone says, Jane Doe says, I have nothing else to lose. F that, I'm not taking money. I'm fighting to find truth what happened to my baby. See, I can agree with that. But she claimed her life was threatened. Nobody wants to die behind it. But is she using the death of AC to draw more sympathy? Anna Surf says it was them against her. Now I want y'all to think about this. AC ended up dying. She was quiet about that. So let me get this right. Kenneka's mom watched her daughter die, and she watched a creator die defending the daughter, and none of that time did she say, you know what, I feel bad. I feel bad that AC died behind this, so I'm going to speak up now. See, these are the things I'm thinking of. At no point did she get any conscience towards the situation and come out and say, you know what, this is too much. Somebody died trying to figure this out, and I know the whole time that things aren't right. I just took the money. It's almost she's using his death to say, yeah, there's something real nefarious at play, and they threaten me too. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm considering all things here. Let's go.
So some people are on the fence about her statements because in one breath, people are understanding that she was silenced, but then others feel that no money in the world should compensate for something happening to your child, and you know something is wrong, but rather not say publicly. Even though we already know it was foul play involved, but her saying it is basically just confirmation because it's coming from the mother and not outsiders. So we're going to get into what the mother had to say and then also get into a few things social media had to say in response to the news. So let's get into it, y'all. But before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
A settlement is reached in Kenneka Jenkins' wrongful death lawsuit. She was found dead in a walk-in freezer at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Rosemont back in 2017. Surveillance video showed her walking near the freezer, and today a judge denied a motion to keep the details of the settlement sealed. But the issue is expected to be revisited in court next week.
Now, Kenneka Jenkins' mother would take to her Facebook to say, quote, "To whom this may concern, I still don't know what happened to my child's life, clothes, shoes, cell phone, hair, and the list goes on. However, I have been promised lies, as if once this case is over, I was forced to never talk about my child again. As you can see, over the years,
Forced by who? See, this is what I have a problem with, y'all. She made a Facebook post. Like, if you're gonna come out with some real information, she would say, I was forced by the Cook County Police Department. I was forced by the owners of Crown Plaza. I was forced by hotel management. You know, if you're going to come out and really seek justice for your daughter after all these years, you have to do it a certain way. You can't say you were forced after you took $3.7 million. I can't sympathize with her the way a lot of people can. I can't do it, y'all. I just can't do it. It's something about how this woman carried this out that's not sitting right with me. It's something about what she normally posts on social media that don't sit right with me. It's something about how all this is panning out. I don't like it. I don't like it. Somebody said forced by the lawyers, ? Or forced by the Illuminati. Who were you forced by? Give us some names. Who forced you? Who locked you in a room? Who did it? I don't know. It's not sitting right, y'all. It's just not sitting right.
I wasn't near as vocal as I am today. So after this post, I might be back in court, but I will be getting sued because I was tricked by they will give me answers, give me her clothes and her cell phone and anything that belongs.
Who is she going to be sued by? And the reason I ask that is because it's only speculative that the mother signed any binding non-disclosure agreement that legally prevents her from speaking about the case. There's no court documents. I went all through it. There's no court documents verifiable proof, any public record showing that. Only social media claims. And that started from her post. There's nothing in the Illinois court records to show that she would be sued for talking about the case. There's nothing. Somebody said, ain't her mother an Eastern Star? I don't know. That's something that we have to research. If you got any information on that, send that my way. But it's just not adding up.
To her when she died, that was on her body. That was a lie. Once they finished investigation, allegedly people I trusted, they told me that somehow Kay got out the back door. I never heard how which door could get out, but they never told me how or where. Allegedly, they never told the media. That's why I know the media will lie allegedly, so I can invite any of you to go. I was in pain going through my cancer battles. They forced us, had us in rooms for hours, and would not let us go until we said what they wanted us to say.
Who is they? She said she had her cancer. They forced them to take the money. They would not let her leave out the room till they say what she wanted them to say. Who is they? Somebody said definitely the men in black. Yeah. Let me see. Somebody said she got the new lawyers. Interesting.
They made us accept what they wanted to give us. I'm literally living without my child, and I'm rising above, staying strong, and holding on to hope even without you. P.S. I was made to do a recorded video hours after we were held during one of my child's birthdays.
You know, I don't buy that somebody forced her to take $3.7 million. Let's vote on this. Let's vote on this. I don't claim to know all the answers. What do y'all think? And be honest about your opinion. Be honest about your opinion. You have on this platform here, you can have freedom of thought. By show of ones, you believe that she just took the money. She remained silent. She omitted justice because she wanted the bag, and that's that. Or number two would be that, you know what, Bree, you're dealing with the mob. These people organ harvest. Of course she was silent. They forced her to take the money. She was going up against the machine. There's nothing else she could have done. Let me know down in the comment section, in the chat. Somebody said, why now? That's my question. Somebody said, bro, she just wants some more money. That's what I'm leaning towards believing based on how this plays out. And y'all make sure y'all participate. Let me see. Real 80 says, what does she have to gain about lying? Who gave her the money? Good question. What does she have to gain about lying? And who gave her the money? Well, according to the documents, the Crown Plaza is the ones who settled. They settled for around 10 million. She took 3.7 home. And I don't know. Somebody said Crown Plaza was also being sued for human trafficking. I didn't know that. Let me see. Do I see more ones than twos? I see a one. This seems pretty split down the middle. Pretty split. I see maybe a few more ones than twos. I see a few more ones than twos where people are saying, Bree, yo, this lady full of it. This lady trying to get to the bag. Okay, I see some people saying she was afraid. Let's see, Andrea Halton, she always has a very interesting perspective. She says, if she was so afraid for her life, why speak out now and have the same threats? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to understand. But also, this is a double-edged sword because there is some people obviously operating because AC got killed talking about this. So it's like I don't doubt that there are people out there who move like the mob, but at the same time, I just don't know about the mom's character.
At the same time, I was sitting in the meeting.
And then think about it, $10 million for the hotel company, that's nothing for them. They can just get, hey, you take this money and get on. They making so much money, hand over fist.
About another child who wasn't even living. I had nothing to give my baby that day, but I knew a surprise was waiting once we left that meeting. Before the rain came hard, I stayed quiet long enough, but at this point, I'm simply speaking my truth respectfully, clearly, and without naming anyone. Now let's make Americans great and try to tell someone with honor, and they told me, just go on, live my life. Peace, be still. Now someone will respond in a different manner as they would say, quote, you must ran out of that money because why you talking? Child, we all know nobody unalived that child. She was a known alcoholic who couldn't handle her liquor. But girl, don't come on social media trying to start this fake ad outrage over your child you failed to raise properly. Them folks paid you just like any other person they would have paid. Called liability insurance. You settled because she was at fault of her own death, no foul play.
Ooh, this post right here from Kylie Dior. Sheesh. I mean, and sometimes, man, and this is tough. This is just a tough topic because we know how we got these entities that operate, that traffic, that organ harvest. We know all of that. But we all did see the footage of Kenneka stumbling out, looking to be drugged. They say they found they say they found prescription pills and alcohol all in her system. Could it listen, could AC's death have something to do with something else? Could it be a coincidence that AC died from something else? And hear me out, y'all. I'm only speaking hypothetically. I'm not trying to cause confusion. It's just that we wasn't there. We don't know exactly what happened. But Callie Dior says, you must have ran out of that money because why you talking? Child, we all know nobody killed that child. She was a known alcoholic who couldn't handle her liquor. But girl, don't come to social media trying to start this fake outrage over your child you failed to raise properly. Sheesh. Wow. She says they would have paid. It's called liability insurance. You settled because she was at fault of her own death. No foul play. Rest in peace. Yo, sometimes the truth is not as sensational as we think it is, too, at times. Respectfully, sometimes it's just not what we think, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with this comment. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is based on what I've researched. Hear me out. Brothers and sisters. Based on what I've researched on this situation, I could not conclusively find that there was any NDA signed or what exactly the wrongful death entailed. I mean, the family's wrongful death suit was awarded from the settlement. So something's amiss. But anyway, let's continue.
Rest in peace. Now another person will respond saying, quote, Kenneka's mama let them pay her to silence her about her own daughter. This is so wicked. Now the million's gone, she want to tell the truth. After your other daughter been wearing Givenchy purses, moose knuckles, and Jordans, every other picture doing ish she never did before Kenneka died, now you want to say something now? That is so crazy. MFs do anything for money.
Wow. I don't know, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Born Road. Yeah, her mom's was talking about her throat game a few weeks ago. Yeah, matter of fact, I could bring up the post again. She was talking crazy on Facebook. She was talking crazy, like all kind of sexual innuendos and crude humor and man, I be wanting to really speak for our people on certain instances and situations, but the mom rubs me the wrong way, y'all. She rubs me the wrong way. She just does, man. Something wrong, something about this woman that's not striking me as a reputable person. I'm not getting reputable coming from her. Just not getting that.
Now you want justice? You got the justice you wanted, and that was that money, girl, go on. You not finna get another check or no GoFundMe money from us, girl, bye. Don't put me on. Now, as I always tell y'all, I believe two things could be right at the same time. Do I think the mother should have took the money knowing that they was playing dirty and coercing her to say what they wanted her to say? No. She should have stuck to her guns and stood for justice for her daughter. However, I do understand that being told that you will receive almost $4 million and you in poverty and don't have much.
See, this is something I ain't know, man. This is why I'm glad I'm talking about this. Somebody says Zach TV was getting into it with different gangs in Chicago for interviewing rival gangs. Wow. Eric Dave, I didn't know that. Can I get multiple people to confirm that as well? See, I didn't know that. That's why I said, could it be a coincidence that Zach TV just died around that time? Somebody said Crown Plaza has been associated with multiple deaths. I'm pretty sure a lot of the hotels been associated with wrongful deaths. This is tough. This is a tough one.
Of course you would take the money. Not everybody, but majority of the people will, and that's how that evil program works, to shut people up. They pay you to shut up, and if you don't take it, they go other measures to make sure you never speak. So that's another thing that could be a problem, because either way it go, them people are going to make sure they get their way by any means necessary. So yes, it's easier said than done when you're not in a situation to say what you would do, but until you actually go through it, it's no telling what you would do. But like I said, is she wrong for accepting that money, knowing that she was basically being forced to lie about her own daughter's death? Yes. Simple. Now another thing.
Now, forced to lie. What lies did she tell? Because in the post on Facebook, she said she was forced to lie. She took the money and was forced to lie. What lies did she tell exactly? Because I mean, it's so many ways that Kenneka's mother could have addressed this situation where we would have really believed that she was trying to make something happen, that she really wanted some justice to be brought to the table. She didn't call no names. She didn't expose nothing. She didn't expose the lies that were told. She didn't give any evidence. Kenneka's mom gave us nothing. Wow. So Zach TV, man, y'all on it, man. Somebody said this is a YouTube video stating how interviewing the wrong gang got Zach TV killed. Wow. See, I mean, that's a possibility. And that's why I said, is it a coincidence that he died around that time and she may be using that? Because I look, these people would do anything for that crowdfunding, man. They'll do anything for that crowdfunding.
Yes, she may be wrong, but I'd rather not focus on that part just yet. It seemed like the fact that she, Kenneka Jenkins' mother, basically told the world that they lied and coerced her to lie too is being lost. We already knew it was foul play, but now it's confirmed. And I think the case should be revisited. Clearly, now that the mother admitted that she was forced to lie, the real question becomes, who made her lie and why? Who else is really behind this and who else is really involved? Because clearly it's more people that we don't know about, and this is why they tried to cover it up, and they used her to basically go through with the story, and she did because she was paid off. Now, she does have to be careful, being that she just exposed this to the world because she said a mouthful. And I hope that this isn't something that just gets swept under the rug, because
she really didn't say nothing. She really didn't say anything for real. But they made her lie and they covered it up. She didn't give names, dates, times, nothing. Nothing.
As much as people made a thing when it first happened, now we just got more clarification. And I hope it raised awareness to the way that we can all be manipulated by the media to believe whatever they want us to. And not just that, understand that this ain't the first time it happened and it won't be the last. So in order to prevent it from happening to any of our peers, loved ones, daughters, children, no matter who, we gotta nip it in the bud now. If not, it's gonna continue happening. And clearly, this means someone got away with homicide. Simple as that. Now, aside from that, Chicago native Big Boss Damo, who also don't agree with her mother agreeing that she took money and settled, here's what he had to say.
So, a lot of y'all ain't gonna agree with me, a lot of y'all is. I really don't care, but this is my opinion. So, I wake up, scrolling on Facebook, and I see Kenneka Jenkins' mother make a status saying, I'm tired of being quiet, y'all paid me to be quiet, y'all promised me this, promised me that, like, y'all paid me. It ain't no type of money in this world that'll make me be quiet when it comes to some foul. It happen like that, especially when it comes to my flesh and blood, my kids.
Yeah.
You hear me? Can't no, if the police offer me some money right now to be quiet about my mama case, fuck y'all. You hear me?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Straight up. And then she's not saying who paid her to be quiet, because what I looked up is the hotel is the one who settled as a wrongful death suit. Who paid her? It's like she's feeding off of people who are really conspiracy theorists, like to the point where they is the Illuminati. I don't know about this, y'all. It'd have been different if she said, look, Cook County Police. Who paid you? Who was it? Some unknown men with an envelope? No, because you can publicly look up, your lawyers. Kenneka's mother's lawyers was trying to get it sealed. Well, we couldn't find out that she even got paid. Her lawyers who did that. That's on public. That's public record. So who paid you to be quiet? Who paid you? Who? Who told you to go lie? Who were the people who had you in a room for hours? You had lawyers. What the hell was your lawyers doing? Was your lawyers trapping you in there too? It's like, what exactly are we talking about? Was her lawyers in on it? Because she had legal representation. I don't know, man. I'm just using critical thinking skills here, man. Because this ain't sitting right. Let's go.
Come to my flesh and blood, my kids. You hear me? Can't no, if the police offer me some money right now to be quiet about my mama case, fuck y'all. You hear me? Like, you had the whole world behind you. The whole world behind you. You could have got justice and way more money than whatever they offered you.
That's true too. She could have got she could have went to her people and got just Al Sharpton and whoever the hell else was popping around 9 years ago. Because it was definitely going to be some people. The Kenneka Jenkins situation was huge. She could have, if she would have lined herself up with her people, they would have made sure she got to the bag. She would have got, and what he just said is fact. She would have got way more than 3.7 million. Everybody was talking about that Kenneka Jenkins situation.
Why try to come say something now? Why? Because the money gone? Now you want to open your mouth? This been like 5-6 years ago. I just don't agree with that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, ain't nobody finna pay me no type of money to be quiet when it comes to one of these killing my kids. Your daughter didn't deserve to die like that? Like, what the? Y'all, what? I don't want that money. I want justice. I'm putting justice over anything. Over money, loyalty is over everything. Oh, man. The way y'all be moving, man, it's weird, man. Like,
so that's pretty much it, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this and how everything happened. Some people actually believe that there was no foul play involved, while some do. So this,
I think, like the brother said, she could have got Ben Crump. I believe that there could be more than one thing true at the same time. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Like Real 80 said in the chat, it'll be good if we could just follow the money and really get some answers from other people who got paid behind the scenes, because she wasn't the only one who got paid. If we could put them on blast and hear what they got to say, we would know what's going on. But for the most part, it's like this whole Kenneka Jenkins situation was treated like a blood sacrifice. The person closest to her stood the most to gain. She got almost $4 million richer. The money is running dry now. And all of a sudden, she won justice. She won justice all of a sudden. And you know what's wild about it? The last what? How many years? She been posting just madness all up on social media. Within the last months or so, just look at what she been posting. Of course, she came back around in October, but before that, she was talking about eating eggplants with no hands. She was talking about eating eggplants with no hands, y'all, publicly. I don't know, man. What say y'all? What say y'all? Somebody, Real 80 says the mom, a small fry, she should have never took that money. Right. She should have never took it. She should have never took the money. Yep. Kim said it. Yep. A whole 8 years later. Yep. This case is pretty much a cold case. There ain't no justice coming out from the post that she's made, and nobody's really taking her mom serious. It just
to close again because
it just is what it is. I mean, sometimes all you gotta do is just browse the social media. She's talking about her throat and her box, and I don't know, man. It is what it is, y'all. Andrea Halton says that post got her exactly what she was looking for, attention again from the world. I agree. I agree. Nasty work, man. People would do anything in your demise for some small change. But it's always an honor building with y'all. Of course, I got more material coming. Make sure y'all turn the post notification bell on so you can get videos as they're being uploaded. If y'all like going through these deep dives and just questioning things, just make sure you lock in. All right. Peace and blessings to you.